My little brother Jack never spoke full sentences until the night he stared at an empty, rainy street and laughed. "He's waving at me." 10 minutes later, he carried an extra dinner plate to the table and said, "William's starving." The neighbor's son William had been buried 3 days earlier, with the back of his skull smashed in. Word count from here. Exactly 800. I was 15. Jack was 11. Dad disappeared years ago. Mom cleaned offices at night, so the house belonged to us after 9 p.m. That Thursday the air smelled like metal before the storm. I was eating cereal on the couch when screams ripped through the walls next door. I ran outside barefoot. Red-blue lights painted the rain. Cops shouted. A stretcher rolled out carrying a black bag that was way too small for an adult. Behind it, Mr. Harlan, our drunk neighbor, was holding his bleeding head, crying that a masked robber did this. Everyone believed him. Everyone felt sorry. 4 nights later, Jack started giggling at the living room window. First sound he'd made in months. I asked, "What's so funny?" He pointed into the dark street. "William's doing cartwheels." Nothing was there except puddles and lightning. Dinner time. Mom was exhausted. Jack suddenly left the table, came back with an extra plate, and carefully placed a 4th fork. Mom smiled weakly. "Who's the plate for, sweetie?" Jack looked at the empty chair and whispered, "William's cold. He wants spaghetti." We forced laughs. Kids have imaginary friends, right? Wrong. Every night he saved the best pieces of chicken for William. Every night he asked William to pass the salt and then said thank you to nobody. Then came the night that broke me. 2:14 a.m. creaking stairs, front door wide open, rain blowing in. I sprinted outside. Jack stood under the huge oak that grows exactly on the property line between our yard and Harlan's. He was soaked, arms out, spinning slowly, laughing like a maniac. "Jack, come inside." He stopped, turned. His eyes reflected the porch light, blood red, voice not his own, low and cracked. "He never left. He's under here." Then he dropped like someone cut his strings. Fever hit 104 degrees. Doctors said viral. I knew better. I cornered the sheriff in our kitchen. What was the dead boy's full name again? William David Harlan. Why, my legs almost gave out. That same night Jack sat up in bed, burning hot, staring at the corner. I followed his eyes. For half a second the shadows moved, tall teenage shape. Head dented wrong, something dark dripping from the hairline. It lifted an arm and pointed straight down at the floorboards. Jack stood like a sleepwalker, walked barefoot through the house, out the back door, and stopped under the oak. Rain hammered his face. He pressed both palms into the mud and screamed one word, "Dig." Mom called 911. Half the neighborhood watched with umbrellas while deputies sank shovels into the roots. 10 minutes in, metal clanged on metal. They pulled up a child's aluminum baseball bat wrapped in Harlan's bloody work shirt. Truth poured out like pus. Harlan murdered his own son in a blackout rage, smashed his own forehead with the same bat to fake the robbery, then buried the weapon in the one place no one would look, our yard, so he could sell the house and disappear. He almost got away with it. Jack woke up the next morning perfectly fine. First thing he did was take William's plate off the table and put it back in the cupboard without being asked. We cut the oak down last year. New grass grows there now, but every time it rains really hard, I still hear 2 little boys laughing under the ground where the tree used to be. If you think the dead only punish their killers, wait until a ghost mistakes you for the woman her husband buried alive 15 years ago. Imagine you're half drunk floating in your pool at midnight, parents out of town, when you notice a creepy old lady staring at you from an abandoned apartment window 3 stories up. You blink, she vanishes. 10 seconds later, she's standing right behind you, dripping wet, grabs your shoulder and whispers, "Isabel, run. He's coming back to bury you under that tree tonight." My name's not Isabel, but the skeleton they dug up under my tree 15 years ago. Yeah, that was Isabel. Summer 2024. Dad snagged our dream house at a bank auction for straight pennies. Massive backyard pool, yellow flowering tree that smells like candy. The vibe was immaculate. Only downside: a crusty old 3-story apartment building stairs straight into the yard like it's mad we moved in. Saturday night, parents in LA visiting my sick aunt. I'm 17, home alone, living my best life. Friends dip around 9, I'm tipsy, throw on some Travis Scott, slide into the pool with a white claw and just vibe on the raft. Wake up to splashing, look up a third floor window, pitch black inside, but a frail old lady is just standing there. Eyes huge, unblinking, dead-ass staring into my soul. I laugh, wave like an idiot. She doesn't move. Next glance, window empty. Whatever, probably saw a curtain. Phone rings inside. I paddle to the edge and this raspy voice behind me goes, "Isabel, you're still here." I spin so fast I almost flip the raft. She's standing in the shallow end, water up to her knees, nightgown clinging like she's been underwater for decades. Skin gray, veins black, eyes milky white. She raises one bony finger and points at the yellow tree. "Run, child. He's coming back tonight to finish what he started." I scream, scramble out, slip, eat concrete, bolt inside, slam and lock every door. Call Dad crying so hard I can't breathe. He calls 911 while I'm hiding in the pantry like a total baby. Cops show up. Landlord says third floor's been condemned 15 years. An old lady died up there, abandoned by her family, staring out that exact window till she croaked. He found her slumped against the glass, still warm. Next morning I'm shaking, telling the female deputy everything. She thinks I had a panic attack plus too many claws. Then I remember the name. I ask Dad who owned this house before us. He shrugs. Bank said some couple. Wife vanished 15 years ago. Husband skipped town right after. Why? I beg them to dig under the tree. They think I'm unhinged, but the lady cop feels bad for me and brings a K-9 unit just in case. 40 minutes later they hit bone. Full female skeleton, wedding ring still on, skull cracked like an egg. Missing person file from 2009, Isabel Marie Carter. Husband filed the report, then disappeared the same week. Coroner says blunt force trauma, buried alive while she was still breathing. They pull up Isabel's old driver's license photo for identification. It's literally me. Same face, same freckles, same eyes. I'm her doppelganger. That old lady spent 15 years staring at my backyard from her deathbed window, watching Isabel get murdered and buried under that tree. And when someone who looked exactly like her moved in, she finally had someone who could hear her. We still live here. Cut the tree down, poured new concrete over the spot, got a priest, a medium, the whole tick-tock. But every July when those yellow flowers would have bloomed, the pool water turns freezing cold and smells like wet dirt, even when it's 105 degrees outside. And sometimes, when I'm swimming alone at night, I feel ice-cold fingers brush my ankle under the water, and a whisper that sounds almost relieved. "Thank you for bringing me home, Isabel. If you think ghosts only come for the people who look like they're killers, wait till you hear why my neighbor's dog refused to leave my house the night its owner came back to silence the only witness to his wife's murder." Next video drops in 5 seconds. Don't pause, don't blink, and whatever you do, don't let the dog out. 2020 lockdown. Thunderstorm kills the power. Neighbor pounds on my door. "My wife's sick. Please watch my dog while I get medicine." The second he tries to hand me the leash, the dog lunges and nearly rips his hand off. 10 minutes later, I watch that same man and his side chick drag his wife's freshly slit-throat body across the bedroom floor, and the dog knew the whole time. I'm 26, graphic designer, living alone in a quiet cul-de-sac because my boyfriend and I were supposed to move in together until the world shut down. Next door, a couple who fought so loud the walls shook. Every night she screamed, he roared, doors slammed. Everyone heard it. Nobody did anything. That Saturday the sky turned green. Thunder so loud it rattled my teeth. Weirdly, the neighbors were dead silent all day. Then bang, bang, bang on my door. I open it a crack. The husband is soaked, shaking, eyes wild. "Please, my wife's really sick. I need to get medicine. Can you watch Brutus for 20 minutes? I can't leave him alone with her. Brutus is their huge German shepherd, sweetest dog ever, until tonight. The second his owner tries to pass the leash, Brutus snarls and snaps at the man's wrist like he wants to kill him. I take the leash anyway. Brutus practically drags me inside my house and sits facing the door, growling low the entire time. Power's out. Lightning is the only light. My bedroom window faces their bedroom window, 10 feet apart. In the flashes I see someone lying on their bed, completely still. I feed Brutus, try to work, but he won't stop growling at the front door. Around 10:30, the power snaps back on. Their bedroom lights up like a crime scene. The husband is back, but he's not alone. A woman I've never seen before is helping him carry a third person by the arms and legs. The third person is his wife, throat opened ear to ear, blood already dark and thick, dead for hours. Brutus goes insane, barking so hard the windows shake. The husband locks eyes with me across the gap. His face changes. He knows I know. 30 seconds later he's pounding on my door again. Ma'am, open up. My friend's here to help take my wife to the hospital. Just give me my dog. His voice cracks with fake panic. I deadbolt every lock, dial 911 with shaking hands, whispering, he just killed his wife. He's trying to get in. He starts kicking the door, screaming, you're misunderstanding. Open the damn door or you're next. Car tires screech. I peek. He and the girlfriend jump in his truck and disappear into the storm. Cops arrive in 4 minutes. They find her exactly where I saw her, stone cold, throat cut, while the husband was supposedly getting medicine. Turns out the girlfriend was inside the house the whole time. They killed the wife hours earlier, wrapped her in sheets, and were waiting till midnight to move the body when fewer people would be looking out windows during lockdown. His genius plan. Use me as the perfect alibi. I was at the neighbor's getting medicine, ask her. Then later come get the dog and act shocked that his wife vanished. One tiny mistake. He loved that dog more than he hated loose ends. Brutus knew the second he smelled his owner's hands what had happened. Dogs don't lie. The couple's still on America's Most Wanted. Every thunderstorm, I keep Brutus's old collar on my nightstand. Sometimes it moves by itself, like he's still standing guard. And on the rare nights the power goes out again, I swear I hear wet paws padding across my roof, watching the street for the man who will never be brave enough to come back for him. If you think animals are the only ones who know when someone's a monster, wait till you hear what my little brother brought home from the grave.